In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to track and monitor productivity for better results. How to track and monitor productivity without turning into the boss everyone avoids in the break room. Hi there, I'm Christina B. Rising and welcome to the Perspective Plan Show. Here I help you boost your productivity and stay organized so you can easily handle whatever life throws at you. Don't forget to subscribe for new videos and podcasts every single week. You can also shop for workbooks, printables, and stickers at perspectiveplans.com. Thank you to our patrons and channel members for supporting this awesome episode. Now let's get into the show. Tip 1. Track performance all year long, not just during review periods. Employee performance is typically only taken into account once a year, during the employee's annual review in many organizations. However, this method of evaluating and even enhancing employee performance isn't particularly successful. Rather, managers ought to keep a careful eye on performance throughout the entire year if possible. Opening each employee's performance file is the most straightforward method. Then record each time you observe an employee accomplishing a challenging assignment, performing very well, or even making a mistake. When performance review season arrives, this makes it so much easier and simpler to compile an extensive review. You can give immediate feedback and make changes before problems worsen by keeping a close eye on staff performance all year round. This continuous procedure guarantees that staff members remain in line with business objectives and experience help for their career advancement. Frequent performance reviews or even check-ins can assist in addressing issues as they emerge, enabling opportunity for improvement and even course corrections. Moreover, maintaining a performance file for every employee gives specific facts and examples to refer to job assignments, which makes the criticism more impartial and useful. This fosters a culture of continual improvement by enabling staff members to see their strengths and even areas of development. Regular performance monitoring also aids in establishing more precise and practical objectives for the upcoming review season. It moves the emphasis from a one-time assessment to a continuous process of development that promotes the progress of the individual and even the business. Tip 2. Create a performance evaluation system that is both objective and even consistent. Performing performance reviews on a yearly basis is a significant component of the performance management process in the majority of organizations. The purpose of these evaluations is to provide you with the opportunity to check in with workers regarding their progress towards long-term goals, highlighting areas in which they need to improve, and provide praise where it is truly needed. Nevertheless, if you want to utilize your performance evaluations to effectively track the performance of your employees over time, you need to make sure that they are fair and consistent, and that they are used consistently throughout your business. In order to guarantee that your performance review procedure is both equitable and consistent, you should begin by setting clear and standardized criteria that are applicable to all workers irrespective of their position or even level of seniority. It is important that these criteria be in line with the strategic goals of the organization as well as the specific work duties of each individual employee. The implementation of these measurements helps eliminate any subjectivity, so guaranteeing that evaluations are based on performance. Tip 3. Establish definite goals and objectives for yourself as well as each employee. You must clearly outline your expectations before you can monitor an employee's performance. In addition to helping workers understand their goals, this enables you to assess their progress. The SMART framework should be used for establishing goals for staff members. This implies that every objective ought to be time-bound, meaningful, quantifiable, feasible, and of course specified. As an illustration, consider a marketing manager who wishes to boost their business's social media presence. As a result, they gave the social media manager a SMART goal. By the end of the year, they want to see a 10% quarterly growth in interaction on their primary channel. This objective is, of course, specific. It contains specific information about the purpose to boost engagement and, of course, the channel. It's measurable because it's 10% every quarter is the numerical goal. It's achievable because its consistent use of both organic and paid techniques can accomplish this. And it's also relevant. It has a direct bearing on the function of the social media manager. And it's time-bound. It must be finished by the year's end. Involving staff members in the goal-setting process is also crucial. They are far more likely to be driven to accomplish them as a result. Tip 4. Make use of 360-degree evaluations to get a complete picture. When it comes to the day-to-day job of their staff, a manager may only know about it so much. Because after all, they are responsible for managing other employees as well. It is impossible for them to keep a continual watch over everyone. Inside the context of a 360-degree evaluation, employees are evaluated not just by their managers, but also by their coworkers, reports, and anybody else with whom they have frequent interactions inside the workplace. The use of the 360-degree feedback is a helpful method that may be utilized to give additional context to an employee's assessment, so producing a more comprehensive perspective on their performance. Through the collection of input from a broad variety of sources, 360-degree evaluations aim to give an all-encompassing perspective on the performance of an employee. The opinion of colleagues, subordinates, and even customers or clients is included in the strategy, which provides a fair and objective view on the areas in which an employee excels and those in which they need to develop. Colleagues who work closely with an employee on a regular basis can see behaviors, skills, or issues that a manager would not see. This helps minimize blind spots, which contributes to the elimination of things we can't see or notice. Tip 5. Gauge success. Choose key performance indicators, also known as KPIs. Quantifiable performance measurements, also known as KPIs, are monitored over time by businesses to gauge their progress towards strategic objectives. You can obtain a comprehensive picture of employee performance inside your team or organization by establishing the appropriate KPIs and monitoring them over time. A KPI needs to be a specific, quantifiable goal that is challenging yet doable. Depending on the strategic aims of your business, you might define a wide range of KPIs. For instance, a lot of businesses establish financial KPIs, which could consist of total income, growth in revenue, profit margins, and margin of profit. Additionally, you might establish KPIs for client satisfaction, such as average time spent resolving a customer ticket, average time to respond, Net Promoter Score. KPIs for team performance and operational efficiency can also be established. For example, in a project-based environment, you could monitor things like the rate of on-time project completion percentage of projects that are completed on time and within budget, worker productivity, like their weekly tasks accomplished, recurring business metrics, or even customer retention rates. Long-term performance depends on employee involvement and happiness, which may be another important issue. Potential KPIs in this case could be rate of employee turnover, scores of employee satisfaction via questionnaires, rates of training completion. It's critical to match the vision and objectives of your business with the KPIs you choose. You can make strategy adjustments and make sure you're on track to meet your business goals by regularly monitoring these KPIs. Tip 6. Employees should be encouraged to self-monitor. The 360-degree evaluation process includes the steps of requesting workers to evaluate their own performance as part of the process. On the other hand, employees on par with managers should not only be concerned with their performance in the period leading up to the review season. They should encourage workers to track their work against the key performance indicators of the organization as well as the goals they have established for themselves. Because of this, they are able to take a more proactive approach to managing and enhancing their own performance, which can ultimately result in increased operational efficiency throughout the organization. Employees are more likely to develop a development attitude when they are encouraged to self-monitor their performance, which not only helps them become more accountable of their actions, it is beneficial for employees to keep track of their personal success because it allows them to acquire a better knowledge of their own strengths and areas in which they can improve, as well as how their work matches the larger goals of the business overall. As a result of this self-awareness, personnel are able to make adjustments to their strategies prior to their performance being formally evaluated, which can generate continual progress. Tip 7. Give performance feedback on a regular basis. Regularly providing your staff with performance reviews is also critical. Employees will benefit far more from receiving this criticism now, when it's still fresh in both of your thoughts, instead of waiting until their yearly review. Setting up frequent meetings with staff members to talk about their performance also enables you to find out how they're doing and what obstacles they may be encountering. This implies that you can assist them in swiftly resolving issues and reevaluating objectives if they become irrelevant. Frequent feedback meetings foster an environment of open communication where staff members feel encouraged to keep becoming better overall. Feedback ought to be precise, useful, and centered on actions or even results, rather than character attributes. This guarantees that staff members are aware of what they should continue doing, what has to be changed, and where they may make improvements. Employees don't feel taken by surprise during yearly reviews when they receive feedback in real time, which promotes a healthy work atmosphere. Additionally, it enables managers to swiftly adjust their course and celebrate victories, keeping staff members on pace to achieve their objectives. Furthermore, as it demonstrates a dedication to their advancement within the organization, constructive criticism is frequently valued by staff members. Apart from official gatherings, informal check-ins or even unplanned input can also be beneficial. This strengthens the notion that performance management is a continuous process by making feedback feel less daunting and more like an ongoing discussion. Tip 8. Monitoring the progression of employee performance over time. It is easier for managers, HR teams, and corporate executives to notice and respond to any changes in an employee's performance if they track performance trends over time and monitor progression. If they track performance trends over time and monitor progression, it enables you to identify issues at any early stage, which provides you with the best opportunity to resolve them in a timely and effective manner. Consider, for instance, that you have observed a decline in the performance of your team that handles customer support. The issue is brought to your attention after you have scheduled meetings with a number of members of the team. You have discovered that a new piece of software that you have just introduced has made things more difficult by adding additional stages to the procedures that the team uses. It is possible that in this scenario, you would subsequently give further training on how to make efficient use of the program in order to bring them back together. It is possible that in this scenario, you would subsequently give further training on how to make efficient use of the program in order to bring the team back on track. It is essential to monitor any changes in employee performance over a period of time in order to recognize patterns in an employee's work. Whether those patterns are favorable or bad, a manager can acquire insights into an employee's strengths, areas of growth, and even external variables that may be impacting their performance by routinely examining performance data. This allows the management to better understand the employee's performance. It is because of this that managers are able to make decisions about assistance training and career development that are better informed. If you have tried bullet journaling, time blocking, or just plain old to-do lists but haven't found the right solution to manage your time, then it's time to try out the Hourly Planner Bundle. This is the ultimate planner with everything you need to manage your schedule and get things done today. Featuring 300 plus planner pages with and without sidebars, 100 plus event and holiday labels, and over 2,000 plus planner stickers in 14 unique colors. All this and more can be found in our Hourly Planner Bundle, available in 2 amazing color options at perspectiveplans.com. Paperback edition, now available at Amazon. Helping you plan for what's to come. Tip 9. Use caution when offering criticism. Informing staff members that something is amiss is a significant component of performance evaluation and even monitoring. Employees sometimes don't realize that they have an issue until you bring it up to them. And the first step is to assist them in fixing it overall. However, it's equally critical to use caution when giving criticism to avoid upsetting staff members or even undermining their trust. You should be truthful, pertinent, and detailed when you have something unfavorable to say. Giving instances to support it and discussing the possible outcomes of the worker's subpar performance can also aid in their understanding of the problem. Importantly, you should also be cautious to limit any criticism to the acts or behaviors of their employees rather than their personalities. This keeps everything productive and professional. It's critical to keep your tone positive when giving criticism instead of just listing problems. Frame the feedback in a way that emphasizes finding solutions. Prior to discussing the issues that require improvement, start by praising the employee for their accomplishments or even their strengths. This method demonstrates to the worker that their efforts are still appreciated while also lessening the impact of the criticism. Furthermore, it's critical to maintain a two-way dialogue. Give the worker an opportunity to reply or even share their viewpoint after you've given them a few comments. You might not always be aware of the underlying cause of subpar performance, such as a lack of resources or even outside difficulties. In addition to building trust, this cooperative method facilitates problem solving. Lastly, make sure to follow up following the conversation. This gives you the chance to determine whether the worker is making progress and gives you a chance to provide more support or even direction if necessary. You can keep morale high and motivate staff to strive for constant improvement by including criticism into a dialogue about growth. 10% of tasks are actually finished. A high job completion rate is an indication of efficiency, but frequent delays may indicate that there are problems with measuring productivity, questions regarding priorities, or even bottlenecks in the workflow. Managers are able to determine whether or not deadlines are reasonable by monitoring staff productivity through completion patterns. This allows them to determine whether or not modifications are required. Share this awesome episode with someone you know who needs it to help them plan for what's to come. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I hate for you to miss the next episode. Now let's get into our recap. So let's do a quick recap just in case you missed a tip. Tip 1, track performance all year long, not just at review periods. Tip 2, create a performance evaluation system that is both objective and consistent. Tip 3, establish definite goals and objectives for yourself as well as each employee. Tip 4, make use of a 360-degree evaluation to get a complete picture. Tip 5, gauge success, choose key performance indicators. Tip 6, employees should be encouraged to self-monitor. Tip 7, give performance feedback on a regular basis. Tip 8, monitoring the progression of employee performance over time. Tip 9, use caution when offering criticism. What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. Tim Ferriss. I just want to take a moment to thank our patrons and channel members. This episode would not be possible without your support. Thank you. And if you would like to support the show, visit patreon.com/perspective plans today. Thank you so much for stopping by and pressing play. I truly appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comments or your podcast review what tip you'll be using. Keep planning for what's to come, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.